Welcome back. The program is Housing Development, brought to you by First Added Communications. Now, when you ask a layman on the street one thing they would love to have right about now, he tells you a house, because a shelter is a place where he could retire to after he had this job. The housing industry challenge is enormous and transverses the building materials, the lands, the infrastructure, and the mortgage services. This report is on the task before the new Ministry of Housing and how to better the sector. Take a listen.
Nigeria's housing situation has remained unfavorable. Even before Nigeria's independence in 1960, the overview of housing strategies made by the government and individuals continues to fail, as presently 7 out of 10 Nigerians are living as tenants. Nigeria is said to have a deficit of about 17 million housing units. The fact is, most of the deficits are in the low-income category. The Nigerian state is enjoyed by Chapter 2, Section 16, 1D of the 1999 Constitution under the fundamental objectives and directive principles of state policy. It states to provide suitable and adequate shelter for all citizens. Ministry of Lands, Housing, and Urban Development that has the statutory responsibilities
by the name of the ministry, which is Lands, Housing, and Urban Development. The ministry has a mandate on land administration and management. The ministry has a mandate on housing delivery. The ministry has a mandate on urban management.
Nigerians await the coming of a new Minister of Lands, Housing, and Urban Development. The first question is, what qualities should whoever that will be appointed have?
Whoever that will be penciled down to take over the administration of the housing ministry must be first a professional who understands, first of all, the need to house Nigerians. Housing is one of the fundamental human needs. We also believe that it is the responsibility of government to provide housing for its citizenry.
A minister that will come must be somebody, first, that will understand the dynamics. One, he must be able to know and manage issues on land. He must be able to know and manage issues on housing delivery, and then the finance aspect.
The task for the new minister should be...
The new Minister of Housing has it easy, unless the minister wants to make things difficult for him or herself. One, the issue in Nigeria today is addressing the 14, 15, or 16 million housing deficit in the country. And that is to progressively, sustainably increase the housing stock in Nigeria. There are so many strategies that have been developed in the last 10, 15 years. But the most viable of these strategies is the social housing framework that was developed by the Federal Housing Authority under the leadership of General Tunde Rees, retired. I believe once the minister picks up the social housing framework, dusts it up, and fine-tunes it, he already has a complete program for housing in Nigeria.
There is a World Bank report which states that for the issue of housing to be properly addressed in Nigeria, a minimum of 1 million housing units should be built annually across the country. With the pace housing development is going in Nigeria, even a quarter of this figure is not being met annually. There is, therefore, need for the present government to brace up and address the issue of housing squarely.
Housing Development Program is the only program that gives you the best information on housing. Are you an estate developer, home interior stakeholder, distributor or manufacturer of building materials, furniture company, Housing Development Program is the right platform to showcase what you've got. Housing Development Program is an encyclopedia on housing matters. The number one.